Welcome to Ceasefire, where civics meets civility and engagement meets empowerment. Ceasefire is hosted by former Boerne ISD trustee and owner of the Boerne Bookshop, Dale Adams, and by former Boerne City Council member and local insurance agent, Ron Cisneros. Ready, aim, ceasefire.
Good morning, Kendall County. This is Ceasefire. My name is Dale Adams.
And I'm Ron Cisneros.
And today we've got a special guest, but the topic is, we've had an election. Now what do we do?
I have no idea. I was hoping you could tell us, Dale.
Well, why don't we invite in the victor to come and have a chat and tell us what's going on?
Yeah.
Ricky Gleason. Thank you.
Good morning.
Welcome.
And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think we just witnessed what has to be the most hotly contested runoff election, probably election in Kendall County history.
Recent history. We don't really know how bad they were back in the day.
I couldn't imagine it being worse.
Oh, I can.
You think?
Yes.
Oh, if there was no Facebook 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's a big factor in it.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, 100 years ago, you wouldn't know anything about Ricky's colonoscopy.
I was really hoping we wouldn't learn it today.
Yeah. We'll leave that for another show.
Okay. I mean, that was alarming.
I can tell everybody's way too relaxed now.
Well, I mean, okay, I didn't see anything about your colonoscopy. I just want you to know. But man, just the stuff, like, well, back in first grade, he took my quarter for my milk money. Yeah. I mean, it was some incredible stuff.
It's like we talked, I guess, 2 shows ago, I think it was, about the emotional content that people get into, and they're idolatrous, and they start getting all emotionally attached to their candidates, and they just start going into dark places because all they can think about is their candidate and win, and they can't just take a more pragmatic view of the process and all that. It's nice when it's over and people hopefully will come back to their senses and relax a little bit.
Yeah.
A good time for healing.
Yes.
As a community.
And that is what it is now. It's a time for healing. People get back together. I would like to buy you guys lunch and have you guys just sit down and have a lunch. And just the two of you.
Oh, Judge Shane?
Just chat and, get over some bumps.
I thought I was invited. He said you two, and I thought, that's me. I'm going to get along.
No, not for
Don't
other people
Ron.
to come around and watch and stuff, but just for you guys to get together and have a little bit of healing between the two of you.
Absolutely. We had a good phone call. Shane called me Wednesday morning and congratulated, and we had a good talk about moving forward. And Shane's committed to making sure that it's a smooth and good transition for our community so that things don't, fall to the wayside during that transition. Yeah. And I was really happy to hear that from him, and I know he means it.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That's good to hear.
It was very good to hear.
Yeah. And I think, most of us, even through the campaign, we knew that we're going to get to this day at some point, a day or two after Election Day, and it's like, the world didn't collapse. It really, it was going to be there. It was never going to fully fall apart, and I can guarantee you, unless there's some sort of cataclysmic, hurricane or something, or natural disaster, 4 years from now, Boerne will still be here. It won't be gone forever. It'll still be here trucking along. And, I love the idea that Shane reached out to you and that he's going to make that transition easy for you. And I'm hoping that, everybody else can calm down and give you some grace and some room to navigate, because you're going to have a lot to do here. I mean, they're going to start the whole budget process here in just, in a matter of days.
I know.
Right. You got to jump in both feet.
There's a lot to go on. And, you're so focused on getting the campaign going and done and getting to Election Day. And then you finish and the next day you realize, hey, the real work's beginning now. Here we go. And I'm excited about it. But it's like, okay, take a breath for a day and here we go. Time to get back into it.
So you don't actually get inaugurated until 2027.
Yeah.
What are you going to be spending your time over the next 6 or 7 months doing in the preparation for that?
Well, obviously working with my partners in my current role and getting clients transitioned over and make sure everybody's happy and ready to go over the next 3-4 months. And at the same time doing that, we're obviously going to court and listening in on budgeting, grabbing those books, meeting with department heads, sitting down with the commissioners and with Shane as well, with Judge Slarzik, and making sure that I know everything that's going on to the best that I can, because obviously there's still things that they can't share with me that are privileged. And so just getting up to speed as much as possible, and then building out those folks that are going to help us with, water and infrastructure and planning, and making sure that we know what we need to do moving forward and can hit the ground running day one and start that vision process for our county.
I was hoping you'd say that you're going to have a whole new intersection at Esser Road by January 1st.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess that's not going to happen.
If you got the magic wand, let me know. We'll get it done.
I'll keep a look for it.
Yeah. I wish I could make it happen that quick, but it's that too. I mean, you hit it on the head. It's making sure getting those connections with TxDOT and our state reps, and shoring those up and making sure we're ready to hit the ground running and everyone's kind of rowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I've been on the council, and Dale was a school board trustee. We got elected, and like 2 weeks later, it's like, okay, you get sworn in, and you hit the ground running, whether you're ready or not. You're going to have to wait until 2027, like Dale pointed out, and so there's all this extra time. And I've been sitting here thinking, which is worse and which is better? I mean, you basically have to. You are the judge-elect, but you're going to have to be on the outside looking in while other people are making plans that you're going to have to deal with J1 next year. And we got to jump in right away, but we didn't have that benefit that you're going to have of being able to watch things transpire and kind of pick up on things. And so I don't know, how do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? The hurry up and wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Hurry up and wait. And I don't know which is better. It is nice to have a little time to wind down the business and do that so that I can be a full-time judge on day one.
Right.
But it would be nice to just jump right into it as well, because then you're not waiting. And like you said, watching everything go on that you are going to have to deal with once you get into office, but don't really have any control or influence over in the meantime. Right. So, but an advantage there too, because I can take notes on what's going on and what we might need to double down on, or go in and look at maybe going a different route.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would imagine in that same position, I would be just chomping at the bit to jump in and start doing stuff, and you kind of have to restrain yourself and just watch. And
just respect that they're the ones finishing out their term, and they're the ones that are in charge right now, and I'll jump into that role January 1, 27, and I'm excited. And then there's a lot of training and classes to go to at A&M and learn, the in-depth ways of managing the county, and I'm excited to learn all of it, and I know I've got a lot of folks out there that are going to get me connected with the other county judges around us that are a part of the conversation, and go sit with them for a day. I want to go obviously do that with Judge Slarzik as well, and see the operations and how they do things, and see what I like and what I think is good to bring here, and what we're doing so well now, where we might have some opportunity for improvement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You mentioned Texas A&M. Is that part of the Texas Association of County courses? Do they offer some sort of how to be a county judge?
Exactly. So they'll have classes. I forget if they start. I think they start right in January.
Okay.
Because you always have the new elected officials coming in, so they've got classes to go do, kind of, county governance 101, and then getting more and more in depth as you go on. And then there'll be some of the judicial stuff, obviously, with the probate court and guardianships and everything. But my main focus is the county governance, and then we'll dive into the probate stuff after we get that underway. Get a little grace on the probate side for a little bit.
I would have thought you would have known. I mean, the cities are run by UT. The counties are run by Aggies.
I don't think so.
No comment.
Oh, man. No, when I was there, we went to, we didn't have the Texas Association of Counties, obviously. We had the Texas Municipal League, and they would do courses for us, since we did our elections in May, I think these courses started in June, and we'd go up to Austin, but not UT.
Pretty close.
Just down the street.
We were close to the campus, but not on it. And but similar thing, go through the training and what your expectations should be, the don't do's and the do do's and the all the ethics stuff, and it's very enlightening because you think going in, and then you find out, no, I really didn't know.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, a whole lot to it. And so we'll have a lot ahead, and I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy this kind of stuff. So it's going to be fun to meet, your peers across the state as well and learn from them. And the folks who have been doing it a while are good people to lean on, and for the failures and the successes.
Right.
Yeah.
I always found that to be the best part of going to the Texas Municipal League annual conference, is that you could, seek out people in other cities and find out, okay, this is what's working for us. We tried this, it didn't work for us, and it's like talking too much when you got to take a commercial break. That doesn't work either.
Yeah. So we're going to go to that break. This is Ceasefire with Dale and Ron. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back momentarily with Ricky Gleason, the new county judge-elect. Boerne has its own bookshop. In fact, it's called the Boerne Bookshop. Hi, I'm Dale Adams, inviting you to get lost. Get lost in a good book in our relaxed and casual atmosphere. We have a wide and eclectic selection in the Boerne Bookshop. We pride ourselves on finding what you are looking for. We do author meet and greets, host writing workshops, and can connect you with a good book club. And your young ones will absolutely love our kids section at the Boerne Bookshop. And while we want you to get lost, we're easy to find, as we're in the heart of Boerne, at the back of the Richter Tavern building. We are the Boerne Bookshop. Welcome back to Ceasefire with Dale and Ron. We're talking to Ricky Gleason. I just want to clarify that he is the candidate for the general election. He's not the elect yet, but he will be. It's Kendall County.
Yeah, unless you step up to run as an independent deal.
No, God, no. Not going there.
Yeah. You don't want to share your colonoscopy records, do you?
Not at all.
Yeah, here you have to live stream them now when you're elected.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find out which of you two is eating your fiber. Yeah.
I'm going to have to stomp down on this conversation, I think, at some point. Get out of control. Let's get back to the job here.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Ricky, let me talk to you about, in your private life with your work, you're talking about transitioning your book. What does that look like? That was something my dad had done for many, many years. And so are you going to step away from the business entirely? Are you going to hang on to your licenses and just, maybe come back in at a later point in life? What does that
The hope's
like?
to hold on to the licenses, right?
Yeah.
Throughout. I mean, I plan on running for re-election in 4 years, but I definitely want to hold on to those because, I believe this isn't a lifetime role. And so having something I love and enjoy there to fall back on one day when I decide it's time to hang it up is always a good thing to have. But I really just kind of let the Lord guide me in all of it. And I've got some amazing partners over there that, obviously I talked to them before I even started announcing that I was going to run for county judge, and we already have a plan in place on transitioning. The nice thing is having partners. Yeah. They know most of my clients already, and the ones they don't, we'll make those introductions here, and they'll be happy to work with those guys. They're pretty incredible.
Awesome. Yeah. And that's a great business. It's not something you learn about in high school, and I wish that, you'd see something like that at career day. Nobody ever talks to you about those kind of, that kind of work, but it's a great business. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. We definitely need a little bit more financial education going on in our school system, in my opinion. Yeah. But I know that they've already got a ton on their calendar for the things they already have to do. So it's a big ask.
Yeah.
I would love to get more, county government, city government type education going on again within our school districts as well. I feel like we've kind of fallen off of that governance side and understanding how the structure of our state and country government works.
I think that's something Dale and I talk about a lot. That's why we do this show, because it's amazing to me. It's 15 minutes on Facebook. Just this morning I was reading stuff and about a banner that's going across Main Street right now, and I won't get too far into it, but it's about an event that's coming up, and some folks are hot about it. And, this is what happens when you elect certain types of city council people. And, they don't understand, that's public space. Yep. And if the Church of Christ wants to rent that banner, you say yes, and you say yes to another group that wants to rent it. And that's what happens when you erect a a pole across Main Street, to hang banners.
That's sort of what a free society is about.
Right.
So let's be careful.
Right. And the comments are amazing. And so to Ricky's point, there's just this lack of civic education or this understanding of governance and how much power the state actually has, how much power the county has, how much power the city has. And when things are not going our way, we want our city councilmen to have a lot of power. And when they slow down the opening of your business, you want to take their power away. And it would be better if we just had that understanding of, what powers our county judge is going to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I see that so much near where I live. There's been a lot of clearing and burning of brush piles and stuff like that, and everybody's in an uproar about how can we stop this housing development that's supposedly coming. I don't know if it is or not. And I'm sort of like, well, you know what? We're out in the county. We have a little bit more freedoms here. And you know what? I'm not going to yell and scream about somebody developing on their property. And it drives me nuts when people who move to the county and want more freedom to do whatever they want come out and start yelling about somebody else doing something.
It's the property rights conversation,
right?
Like, where does that stop and other folks' property rights begin? And it's a complicated thing because it's not just a quick answer. It's very situational, and it depends on public resources and lots of other factors, public safety, everything. And so it becomes very complicated. It's not a black and white. There's a lot of gray in there on how all of it works. And that's, I think, where the frustration comes in.
A lot of folks during this election said some things, did some things that just seemed like, man, that was a bridge too far, right? But I know you, and I know you're a guy that believes in grace, but some of these folks burned some bridges, and it's short-term thinking when you do that, because you never know when you're going to have to go back over that bridge again.
Yeah.
How are you going to deal with that as a county judge? I mean, there might be somebody there that, well, whoever it was that exposed your colonoscopy records, that's going to come to you now and say, hey, I inherited this property from my family, and I'd like to subdivide it and give one to my daughter and one section to my son. But I was a complete jerk to you, Ricky. But I still want you to help me. I mean, how do you get past that?
And you said it's grace, right? And I've needed grace in my life, and I think we all have to give it the best we can. And the job is serving every member of this community. And so we approach that with integrity and fairness and make sure that we keep the rules consistent for each person. And I think that's the only way we can move forward. At y'all's candidate forum, I forgive. I really do. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt still. Yeah. And I'm still human and feel that, but I'm not a grudge holder. I don't really want that to live in my space or in my head. That's a good way to start going down a dark road. And so I'm moving past it, and I hope others can too. And happy to chat with anyone and everyone, because I'm going to be representing you, and I take that seriously.
Yeah, that's good. You know what? In this quick break, I'm going to bring out a couple of books. We have a series of books at our store about how to, and they're all compilations of Greek and Roman philosophers. And we've got, a couple dozen of them. And there's one of them called How to Win an Election by Quintus Tullius Cicero, which you probably don't need now.
I'll need it again.
You might need it. Yeah, who knows? There might be some weird person coming up in November, but you might need it again. And then here's one called How to Run a Country by Marcus Tullius Cicero. Oh, cool. He's the one that everybody's heard of. And you may find that useful. But they're neat because they bring out sort of philosophical understanding of all kinds of topics. There's even one called How to Ruin a Country or something like that. And I think it was written by Nero, but we didn't have it, so I didn't bring it today. But they're just neat series of books. They're pretty neat. So we got them at the Boerne Bookshop.
The first one's a little thicker than I would have thought, because honestly, How to Win an Election.
That's not that thick.
Stab Caesar. I mean,
that only works once.
Only works once.
Then he's gone. Yeah. But we got them at the Boerne Bookshop. They're cute books.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check them out.
I want to see the section on Cuban presidencies. Might be helpful for me.
So the question is, what are you going to do about Cuba, Ricky?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I have any authority over that one.
Oh, but everybody's going to expect you to do something about it, right?
Do something about it.
There's always this desire for elected officials to do what they can't do.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah, when do we get our first Cuban restaurant in Kendall County?
I don't know. When are you opening?
Oh, man. This guy's learned quick.
I'm up for that. I'll eat there.
Yeah, it's good food, that's for sure.
Yes, it is. So you're going to get in next year, and what do you think? And I know it's going to change. I mean, the ground underneath us in the political world shifts constantly, but what do you think the primary focus is going to be in January? Like, tell us your top 3 things that you want to tackle.
I think first and foremost is just better unity, more of a team feel, getting all of our department heads, elected officials, our county court all on the same page, and back to realizing that we are all friends and we are all here to serve this community. And so instead of, pointing fingers and whatever else is going on behind the scenes, that we leave that in the past and move forward as a team. And that means we can disagree. We're supposed to disagree. That's the whole point of having a county court, is that you need those different opinions because they bring a lot of value to the whole conversation. And so it's working together to build that team, I think, is going to be the most important part of everything. And then, like I said earlier, we need to start our vision, and it needs to be something that we all know and we're all behind, and that the entirety of our county government understands where we're going and what we're doing. And from there, I mean, it's getting up and making sure that we're taking care of our water. I think that's going to be our number one issue, period, moving forward as a community, is how do we protect our water and how do we make sure our infrastructure is up to date on our water, and getting more authority over the way that groundwater is used from our state is going to be very important. And so when I talked about going to Austin, those are day trips, just so everyone knows. It's not like I'm moving up to Austin, but that's where we can affect real change and actually get authority to do things to protect that groundwater in a bigger way. And I think that's an extremely important thing that we need to do.
Okay.
Along with our roads. I mean, infrastructure in general needs a lot of attention.
Well, speaking of roads, do you see yourself taking that seat at the MPO, or do you think you're going to let one of the other commissioners do that, or where do you see that role going?
As of right now, I think that's a seat that I'd like to take. It is an important piece of our infrastructure conversation, and I think it's good to have your county judge sitting there and doing that. It frees up those commissioners to be doing what they need to be doing, which is taking care of their precincts in a bigger way. And I know Andrew loves it, and so I'll be glad to have her on there, and she gets into the weeds on that really good, and she's a great person to have there. So it'd be nice to have that. And like I said, I think it's so important that you want your judge sitting in that seat.
Yeah. What about, we hear this at every election, what about the relationship with the City of Boerne? Where do you see that going, or what's your role going to be moving forward in that?
I mean, it has to be a good relationship, good communication back and forth. We've got to figure out how to be on a team together, right? Because we're representing a lot of the same people, and those are citizens of both the city and the county. And so we need to be on the same page, whether we like each other or not, because we represent our citizenry. And so we need to make sure that we're all working together. Otherwise, it's so inefficient, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And we're growing too fast to not all be talking and figuring out those joint plans together.
Yeah. And I want to say that I think you've got some credibility in that. You've got a voice already, because you've already worked with a lot of those guys over there. Yeah. So you know them, but you're friendly with them. So I think that's going to be a benefit to you moving forward.
Yeah, my time on planning and zoning helped me get to know kind of, behind the scenes of what's going on within city government, which is completely different than county government. And I have great relationships with most of with all of our councilmen and our mayor. And I'm getting to know Ben Thatcher pretty well. He's a great man. I think he has a heart of service for this community, and I can work with someone like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's very intelligent man. I think he's got a lot to offer. So that's great. I like hearing that.
Well, and he's worked in cities that were basically the county is all cities, and so he's used to understanding how those structures can work well together. Right. And so I'm going to lean on some of his expertise in that as well.
Ricky, do you have any last words to the county, to the citizens before we sign off on this?
Really just a heartfelt thank you for all the support and all the prayers and all the people that I couldn't even name, but mostly my wife, Shannon, for everything. It definitely is a husband and wife role running into this, and I couldn't have done any of it without her support and the support of so many other people throughout this county. It is incredible, and all the glory to God.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Indeed.
And with that, we will sign off. We can't do much better than that. So thank you for listening to us. And if you missed any of this, you can always go to BoerneRadio.com and listen to our podcast or any of the other great podcasts. See you next week.